Welcome to yet another exciting episode of DAFT, Dumb Apple Farmer Talks. And today we're talking about sort of another crop that most direct sales apple farms will grow is pumpkins. Pumpkins are a nice complement to an apple crop. They come sort of as consumer interest moves more towards Halloween. They're moving away from apples, so a logical complement in terms of our product range is pumpkins. They also pretty easy to grow. Even dummies like us can manage to grow pretty good crop. This year, in fact, we've got the best crop of pumpkins we've ever grown. The big problems growing pumpkins are disease, insect predation, and weeds, okay? And this year we hit the weed thing just right. I mean, it really, we did the job. We got that tillage in right before pumpkins sort of start growing, and then they fall over and start to vine out. And if you catch them just right, just when they're starting to vine out, then you can sort of cultivate the area that they're going to occupy very quickly, and then they do a lot of the rest of the work because they shade out the weeds. Foxtail, some aggressive grasses, ragweed can grow through that, but by and large, if you get that tillage right, it really works the job. And this year we had just the right rain at the right time, and all that stuff conspired to make it a really nice, relatively clean crop. As you see, I mean, there's some foxtail here and stuff, but by and large, you know, it's just pumpkins out here, and that's not very typical for us. We're not that clever at growing pumpkins a lot of times. Growing pumpkins is a lot different than growing apples, and there's no question about it. It's a different line of work. You know, you've really got to watch the weeds a lot more. You have to pay attention to planting time so that you're getting the seed in the ground when the soil is the right temperature, but not so late that you miss the chance of some nice rains and things in our area. For us, we have the additional challenge of sort of timing it between floods. Most of our flat ground is along the bottom of the Rapid Creek here, and we will often get a flood just about the time that we've planted pumpkins. More often than not, in fact, we will get some high water. Whether it comes over the banks or not is the question, but we've had to replant pumpkins quite a few years. Pumpkins, like I say, from a consumer standpoint, it's kind of funny. The month of August, we still grow some really nice apples, but consumers haven't really, seems like the switch hasn't gone on and it's apple season yet. We don't have those cool nights. We don't have days like today where it's just a beautiful blue sky, nice crispness to the air, and you know, this really brings people out for apples. But then at some point, the nights turned cooler, the days turned cooler, and people kind of start thinking different than apples. They sort of move beyond apples, and then they're into pumpkins, and then we're sort of at that transition zone right now. So this weekend we're really starting to feature more on the pumpkin thing. We've got pumpkin donuts going on and all sorts of other pumpkin-esque stuff. And yeah, so it's just there's a change that goes on in consumers' minds. We still are not so tied to our iPhones and such that we have lost the plot completely on seasonality, and that's a good thing, I think.